Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sports Department Podcast, the Wrestling Recap version after a week break because WrestleMania week was a pain in the butt and it was a lot of wrestling content. We took a little break, but Stephen Clark, Justin Valentovic, and Jesse Norman are all here back to break down this week in wrestling. But before we get to all this wacky, fun stuff, fellas, how you doing on this nice Saturday afternoon today?
It's beautiful outside.
Yeah.
Not hot, not too cold, very nice. May 1st, so that's pretty cool. Draft is going on. Colts don't know what the hell they're doing after the first round pick, but we'll get into that when we do an entire recap pod. But I'm chilling.
Good. Nice. Jesse, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We got like 2 weeks left of NBA regular season, so we'll probably have a pod coming out for that soon. I would like to get one out before the end of the regular season and then one before playoff starts. So
definitely possible.
Yeah.
Because that would be a main focus coming up soon. The playoffs, definitely. MLB starting to get
fight
into
for the one seed in the East, baby.
I know. And Wizards are fighting to get in. They have a good shot to get in. Probably going to boot us out.
I think they're getting in.
I think they're getting into. Justin doesn't care.
No.
He does not care.
It's funny. I haven't watched a game maybe since like mid-February. That's when they started getting good. I watched the game
since they've been doing good.
I watched the ESPN game. They got absolutely destroyed against the Lakers. So shouldn't watch them. Fine by me.
That's a huge choice, but we're here to talk wrestling. So not much outside the ring over the last 2 weeks. Some stuff got old news. So we're just going to bring up some old topics that we didn't get to do in the last couple of weeks. Maybe we're to change the wrestling to bi-weekly too. We'll see how it goes depending on the stuff because sometimes it just drags and there's nothing that happens during the week. But it's good taking a little break because we had some new stuff to talk about. And one of our last episodes, we talked about all the superstars that have gotten released and all that. And one of the shockers to us was the longtime veteran WWE legend, Mickie James. And shortly, a couple of days after we recorded our podcast, she got all of her stuff back from her locker room. And it was all sent in a black garbage bag. And that just shows the way they treated Mickie James. How disrespectful is this?
Extremely. It's literally they're throwing her stuff out at that point. And they said the guy who did it, I'm forgetting the name, but we've seen him on we've seen him on like WWE like backstage stuff, like
jerk
behind the scenes. Yeah, he seems like a slimy asshole. Yeah. So I'm kind of glad he's gone.
That doesn't sound fun. Yeah.
little swamp ass.
Yeah, no, he's a jerk. He's not a nice human being. So I'm glad. I'm not glad he got fired. I'm glad, he got what he deserves. Put it that way. This sucks, Jesse. I know you're a big advocate for Mickie James too, and does she use this as motive? She probably uses this as motivation more than anything. Like, hey, I still got what it takes to go in the ring and put a company's women's division on the map. And another thing with Mickie James is she wanted an all women's wrestling show, and they declined that offer too. I heard so that they just didn't want to listen to her or any.
They called it Evolution. They don't even have to make any new branding.
Exactly,
just a time slot.
Exactly, and
they literally didn't even give Evolution another pay-per-view after they constantly brought it up and talked about it all the time about this all women's pay-per-view and this great, amazing, wonderful, incredible for equality thing that they did, and they didn't even bring it back. They ran it once, and they'll still probably reference it all the time.
Oh, they will, and they're not gonna have another one, which sucks.
It's
like a year, two.
I've said it before. I hope so. Evolution was one of the better pay-per-views that they had the year that it went on. Yeah. And probably had one of their matches of the years between Becky and Charlotte. So, I've said before, and I'll say it again. Mickie James is the most disrespected legend in WWE history. She was literally the only women's wrestler who was capable of holding a match from about 2006 to about 2009.
Yeah.
I mean, they've disrespected her when she was there. They disrespect her when she's away. They disrespect her when she comes back. It's pretty sad.
It's sad because the way they treat like Tori Wilson and a bunch of these other, I would call them.
They treat her so much better.
Yeah. Like I consider Mickie James a women's wrestler. Beth Phoenix is in that category for me, and A bunch, a very few, like Natalia, I'd throw into from that earlier era. I would throw in a women's wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
They treat a lot of the divas like Kelly and Tori Wilson and all those women. Those are the divas. Those are the divas. They treat them a lot with a lot more respect. They gave Kelly a 24/7 title run out of nowhere. Like it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. But I know Mick Foley put out a tweet saying about the Mickie James all women's television show, saying Vince McMahon jump on this before another company does, because another company will, and it will be successful. And he's right. If AEW changes AEW dark,
they have
AEW
the division. They have the division. They have so many women on their roster who are doing absolutely nothing. Yeah. So many of them. Like, we talk about how, weak the division is. It's because they don't put anybody on television that's not Charlotte, Asuka, Becky when she's there, and then, like, the 4 horsewomen, and then Asuka, and, like, a couple other here and there. They've just recently, had Bianca and Rhea, but other than those, when those 4 are around, or those 5 are around, Mandy Rose isn't getting on the show. Dana Brooke isn't getting on the show.
Where's Carmella been at?
The Riot Squad isn't getting on the show. Carmella isn't getting on the show. You have them literally doing nothing and pretty much sitting around just for the house show circuit.
Yeah.
Do something else.
Yeah, and my point with this too is women's feuds don't happen unless there's a title involved, and that's a problem.
Or they were friends and now they're not friends.
Yeah.
That is the go-to. Oh my God, I thought we were friends. Not all women are friends. I know, Vince, it's crazy. Not all women are just friends with other women, and that's how the feuds start. Because they're women. Because they're women.
Friends. But yeah, that just needs to change, and hopefully someone does take that idea of an all-women show and makes it a possibility. I don't care which brand does it. It'd be
awesome. Be AEW.
Probably they'll change AEW dark.
I don't know. I think Impact could do it. Impact's got a
Impact was kind of
good women's.
Impact was kind of the first to do the all-women shows. Like, they did it a while ago.
Impact was the first one who actually cared about women's wrestling.
Yeah,
the knockouts. Oh my God, that's Gail Kim. Gail Kim was in WWE 2 different times, and absolutely was. They put her in a Daniel Bryan storyline. Yeah, she wanted to sleep with Daniel Bryan.
That's
God.
ridiculous.
Alicia Fox, though, that's a legend.
Alicia Fox. Let's move away from the negatives and into the positives of the news. And there's only one other thing I have, and that's that Ronda Rousey's finally pregnant. So
she ain't coming back for a while. Then that's gone.
She's out like 4 or 5 months in September, I think. So,
yep. Because remember, they were like, yeah, they have about a year. She has like a year left or something with a contract. We're like, yeah, she could come back.
She signed a 3-year deal,
and then it's like,
and then after the first year took off.
It's like, there goes
she's
there goes the last year,
and there's another year now going. So yeah, I think she's done for the most part. She said she'd come back, but I don't see it.
She wouldn't be back for at 2 years. At least 2 years.
I would say at most she'll come back for a match, or maybe like maybe like a road to WrestleMania thing. She's already said she's not doing she wouldn't do the schedule she did before. She would not do house shows. She would barely do the tapings. She would probably show up for like pay-per-views. So maybe like a road to WrestleMania kind of thing.
Like the Undertaker. You come back from Rumble to Mania and then you go away.
Or like the Brock schedule too. Like that's fine. I don't mind a juggernaut women like doing that. You don't really see that too much.
Yeah, they kind of need that.
Just don't put the belt on her for 2 years.
If you want to give her the belt, if you want to give her the Fox, give her the Smackdown Women's title once, I'm cool with that. If you want to give that one to her, at least just once, but then otherwise just let her come back for feuds and stuff. Because
I think most likely she's
that's a name for Fox right there.
For sure.
And I think that would be perfect having her win the SmackDown Women's title. Her versus Bianca, her versus Sasha, Bailey, any one of them, it'd be cool. But that's all I got for outside the ring. I don't really think anything else happened this week.
Yeah, slow week.
Slow week.
Yeah.
Also, a very slow.
Are we all agreeing Rousey's probably done? Do you think she even has another match?
Yeah, I think she has another match. I do think she has another match, but she's not going full time, like you said, full time. Not even like.
I don't
Not
even know
even
if she'll
like
go part-time.
5-6 matches a year. I don't think so. No, like
Mm-hmm.
she'll be back though. She'll have a match, I think, but not nowhere to the capacity of what she was in.
That would be funny if they gave her a 3-year contract. She worked for 1 year, and then the other 2 years she was just like, I'm off.
She was
like
chilling
Kevin
1
Durant.
year. The second year she was pregnant. Then after that, crazy. But that
how like Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant signed a 4-year deal and he's already played 1 year.
Didn't play year one. He's played like what? 5 games.
Sorry, he didn't.
Games this year.
Oh, sorry, he didn't want to go home to Washington, Justin.
I don't blame him.
I know that was just devastating to you when that was planted.
I don't blame it.
You got the other. You got the least talented of the OKC.
It's a joke. Okay.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you know, Jesse is right. He did get the least talented one out of.
No, I know he did.
The best player in Wizards history, Russell Westbrook.
Hey, he's gonna break the all-time triple-double record with us.
That's so funny.
Can get that
with a Wizards jersey on.
That claim to fame.
Don't worry, they're gonna Photoshop all the OKC jerseys on him.
Yeah.
That's literally when like Seaver got the strikeout record. I hope he
with the White Sox.
Yeah, with the White Sox at Yankee Stadium. I hope he wins it.
White Sox, great.
I hope he breaks the record in OKC or something. Like that'd be like the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get into this week in wrestling. A slow-ish week, but we have kind of like 2 weeks of stuff that a lot of stuff happened last week and kind of carried over to this week. So I'm kind of glad we didn't do an episode this week. And we got to talk about our favorite boys. First of all, our former Retribution members, Mace and T-Bar, who 2 weeks ago got unmasked on Raw when they helped MVP and company, and Bobby Lashley kind of aligned with them and kind of the new henchmen for the Hurt Business.
The new cronies.
The new cronies. There you go. Good word. Ever since they kicked out Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. And they came out this week on Monday Night Raw. No masks. Thank God. Plain black gear. Fine. A little bit of face paint. Looks weird. But fine. I don't know about you guys.
Just put them in suits if they're going to be with the Hurt Business.
They could be in suits too. That's fine. But
no, they're not the Hurt Business. They're different now.
They're the Hurt Business. They're Lashley and MVP and half of Retribution. I don't mind this compared to Retribution. I don't mind this at all. I don't know how you guys feel.
If they just turn into like mercenaries, like just muscle for hire and go from group to group, that'd be a little interesting to see.
The only weird thing about that is, does Bobby Lashley need muscle?
No, but I don't know.
But he has it now.
Yeah, they just need someone to eat the pins for him if they ever put him in a multi-man match.
Basically, they need someone to be the goons make Lashley, still look strong. And yeah, I don't mind it though. I'm a fan. I'm a fan for now, just because they got rid of the masks in general.
I'm surprised
they kept the Retribution theme song. That's another thing. They kept the Retribution theme song.
I'm just surprised they're putting them with something like somewhat relevant and not just having them like tread water in the tag division.
You're right. It does add another tag team though. The division, you're right there. So that's fine. But I don't mind. I don't mind this in general. Like I said, they took Retribution's theme song, no masks, face paint, black gear. It's fine. Another kind of new character change on Raw was Charlotte Flair going full heel. Like, I run this. She's embracing kind of what the internet says about her. And I kind of love that right now. Jesse, I see you nodding your head. Let me know how you're feeling about this new Charlotte.
It's what she should be. This is what Charlotte's best at. Stop trying to make her the face. She is not the face. She could be the face of the division. Literally just take the Roman Reigns character and just copy it onto her.
Literally.
That's all you need. That's literally all you need to do.
The queen of the table.
It works. Thank God. Keep her as a heel for as long as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good foil to the rest of the division.
It finally feels like a step away from Ric Flair, which is fantastic. Like, she kind of got rid of like the big, fancy, elegant robes that her and Flair would share. It's more like a sleek, tighter robe. It still has a little couple of peacock feathers and all that, but it feels like a step away of being Ric Flair's daughter, a big step away from that. And
don't worry. That'll be the next character that they give her in 5 months again.
God, yeah, they'll just go right back to the whole Flair storyline.
Oh, for sure. Just wait until – how many championships is she at now?
13.
13. Okay.
Wow,
yeah.
wow.
Oh, she'll get there quick. She'll get there within the next couple of years.
Because she said it one of her promos and it just stuck in my head.
It's stuck in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I was curious and I just looked it up like a few days ago just because to see how many times because they spammed the belts on her back and forth for so long.
They did.
They've had this
different times.
Yeah.
Her and Sasha had like 6 or 5 title reigns.
They went back and forth for like a month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wait till Lacey Evans comes back, and that's when this whole storyline is gonna reignite with the whole.
Oh no, they're dropping. They dropped that.
That would be like
storyline.
a year. That'd be a year and a half from now.
Yeah.
Plus,
Do it. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do
Rick
it.
might not be with us at that time.
Oh, no.
that is okay. He has almost died
Rick
like 3 times.
Rick walks around with a 10% blood alcohol content.
Well,
just at all.
Was he like hospitalized like in the middle of like COVID like last year?
Yeah, I think so. He's not in good shape.
Yeah.
He's not in good shape, but what are you gonna do? We love Rick. Let's get into let's get into some other just new stuff. They're trying stuff on. They're seeing what sticks here, and this is also I didn't find too bad, which was this new tag team between Randy Orton and Matt Riddle called RK Bro.
I love it.
You love it?
Well, I just love the name.
Oh, okay.
It could work though. How Orton's all serious and Matt Riddle's stoned.
It's kind of like you two as a tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the stoned?
Randy Orton.
Like you are.
Randy Orton is certainly stoned as well.
Yeah, but it's a nice comedy team, if you ask me.
Yeah.
No, I like it. My only thing is going to be don't run it for like 3 weeks and then break it up and make it like a pay-per-view match. At least give it to like
SummerSlam.
I don't know. Have both of them be in like the Money in the Bank match, and then like that's kind of where they turn on each other or something. Don't just run the same old like storyline with Randy where he gets a tag person and then he turns on him because he's Randy Orton. Maybe have Riddle turn on Orton. That'd be cool. Like,
I was gonna bring that
Orton
up.
Always turns.
Yeah, it does feel like the same old tag team with Orton. Orton turns, feud like you said. Maybe Riddle gets the win again because Riddle beat Orton 2 weeks ago on Raw, and that's kind of how this came together because Orton had gained his respect for Riddle or something. But I like that idea, Jesse. I was just about to bring that up. I like the idea, but of Riddle turning on Orton, but I kind of feel like they're set on this like idiot gimmick that they give Riddle of like really
stoner gimmick,
very stoned but like idiots stoned. Like when
I just
stoned,
Laramie Tunsil gas mask idiots. They're
limiting him. That's gonna limit him long term if they stick with this gimmick because they're treating him like more of a joke than RVD was treated, and RVD never got anything until 2006, which he then lost because obviously he got pulled over with Sabu. But this could, if they just give Riddle this gimmick and don't ever like do anything else with it, it could come back to bite them.
It probably will. I'd like to see Riddle like change his gimmick eventually to like a right to censor type gimmick. Like it changed like completely like 180 all the way around to like his serious guy in a suit and say no to drugs type guy.
Like Riddle, you can do so many different things with, and he is so impressive in the ring.
Yeah.
He is such a good wrestler. And as far as I'm concerned, he should be a future, but not distant future world champion. I mean, I think he is fantastic. I think he is consistently also one of the much, much better things on Raw. At least when Riddle's on the screen, you're like, okay, it's going to be entertaining at minimum.
Yeah. I agree, but we'll see where this goes from here on out. So far, so good. But another thing that's a little bit on the weird side now, we're getting to Alexa Bliss territory, who is basically taking over the Fiend's gimmick and Bray Wyatt's gimmick. And Bray wasn't on TV this week, but the previous week he says a brand new fun house coming with reinventions and everything. But Bliss took the gimmick for the most part and has this doll, Lily, that I said would be in my nightmares, and
was it?
No, probably tonight now because they're bringing it up and it'll be in the back of my brain.
Nice.
But Lily is around and it talks, I think, and I'm confused. I don't know what to make of this. I honestly don't like this that much. I'm very confused of what
Is it starting to lose you?
it's losing me. It's losing me a lot. The promos are good. Alexa's phenomenal actress. Phenomenal actress, Alexa is. But it's just, I feel like.
Didn't we kind of say where if this was going to fall, like a while ago, like if this were to fall apart, it's because they would jump the shark a little too much, potentially? Yeah. And I think it's getting to that territory with this now. We're just kind of getting just down the rabbit hole. It's like, okay, so what are we doing now?
They're also just so inconsistent with the Bray character, where he was off TV for so long. Why was he not on TV this week? Like, why do you don't make the bet? Like, hours. Yeah, you have 3 hours. You're telling me you can't find anything for Bray Wyatt to do? One of the most entertaining people that you have. I don't know. I still kind of want to wait to see how I feel about this because I literally don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know if this. They both kind of seemed like they were like, yeah, no, we're done with that old stuff. You know, we're moving on. But it's also like, but clearly they're not. But also like, if they are, like, what's the end game here for either of them?
Then what's the point of WrestleMania then? If they're done.
Agreed.
Because Bliss
cost WrestleMania Backlash. Gotta remember WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what's the point of the Alexa costing Fiend the match at WrestleMania if they're not gonna
just to literally be like, I'm done,
like
just to break away. But whenever you get a breakaway, you always get a blow off match. But
you get a blow off or something, or explanation. At least an explanation.
But it's tough now because they're intergender, so you got to figure out something wacky to do.
That's why they're giving Bliss like the supernatural thing, I think.
Yeah, and they could definitely do a cinematic match and it not be bad. Well, because I just really, they've really fumbled the Fiend back.
Oh, man. Yeah.
They really did.
Oh, yeah.
Well, him being off for 4+ months or whatever it was.
It's now becoming cool where we're seeing the smart fans be like, oh, well, Fiend was bad always. Fiend was stupid the whole time.
That's the mainstream.
No, it wasn't. The Fiend was cool.
It was always good until
everybody liked.
As of late.
Until they just kept making him lose. Until they just kept having. Also, we never talked about this. Roman came back, destroyed the Fiend. Then the Fiend moved to Raw.
The Fiend moved.
We never got any payoff on that.
Once again, it starts with Goldberg.
It does.
They built the Fiend up as a monster. And even before that, I think the Hell in a Cell match with Rollins was pretty dumb. Not damaging enough to the legacy because we all knew WWE was dumb anyway. But the Rollins was the first domino. Yeah. And then everything on after that was like, this is getting worse. This is getting worse. And then the Orton storyline was good.
But the match.
And then they had him lose and took him off TV for 3 weeks.
One RKO. Anyways, we talked about, we talked about Bray and what they have to figure out what they're doing with that. But like we just said, there's 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. And Braun Strowman had 3 matches in the span of 3 hours on Monday Night Raw. He was in the handicap match against Mason T-Bar. Then it turned into a tag team match with Drew McIntyre against Mason T-Bar. And then the main event had a one-on-one match with Drew McIntyre. And if Braun Strowman won, it's a triple threat at WrestleMania Backlash. So it's Lashley, McIntyre, and the winner of the main event of Raw, Braun Strowman, in a triple threat match at WrestleMania Backlash.
Why?
Didn't I say this sarcastically?
Probably.
Didn't I say this sarcastically when we were talking about WrestleMania Backlash and somebody, I swear, one of you was like, "Oh, well, we're not running Shane Braun again," and I was like, "They're gonna put Braun in the championship match."
It sounds like something you did say, yes.
Yeah, and look what they did.
I wish I was wrong.
He Braun's in the match and he's just there to probably take the pin or something. I don't.
But Braun doesn't add anything to that match when you already have 2 big beefy men.
Can't wait to see how stupid I make a pick for this match.
Beefy man.
Braun, right?
Probably.
I just
if it was a smaller guy, if it was, say, I know this just happened.
Bryan.
Exactly. I was about to say if Daniel Bryan, it just happened, but Daniel Bryan or Rollins. I know they're not on Raw, but like say Rollins or someone who's, not big and looked like the Mitchell.
Or even do like a conniving heel kind of thing, like like an AJ. If AJ wasn't doing, the almost thing, like kind of sit back, kind of play it, strategically, and just let Lashley and Drew destroy each other.
Exactly.
All three of them, none of them offer anything different.
No.
Well, I mean, Drew's the best wrestler out of all of them, but they're all similar.
Yeah, there you go. That does it for Raw. That was a lot of stuff for Raw, actually, which is shocking. NXT, not too many things happened this week. Nothing noteworthy enough, except for this new promo. What happened? It was called the Diamond Mine. I don't know if it's a teaser for Tessa Blanchard, I think, or like kind of like the NXT Evolve guys are getting their own show. But I got no thoughts on this yet. It was only the first week they showed.
It's too early to tell.
It's too early to tell, but I just want to put that out there that happened. The Way has been on a roll. I love what the Way's doing on NXT. Indy is phenomenal. Dexter Lumis sending flowers to Shotzi and not Indy, and then Indy attacking them. Fantastic stuff. I love what the Way's doing. There, I don't know if you want to bring up anything. There's not much to talk about here. Yeah, and then this is the biggest talking point of NXT, I would think, because it was on the question of the mind of everybody, basically, who saw Kyle O'Reilly defeat Adam Cole at TakeOver, and it's what's next for Adam Cole, and that was the thing going into NXT this week, that he's gonna have a sit-down interview, and Cole really, obviously being the heel that he is, didn't say anything. So what's next for Cole? It was teased that O'Reilly was watching the interview and they're gonna run that back one more time. But I don't know. I think it's time for him to go. I really do.
Yeah, it's just kind of like if they want to bring him back to NXT, say maybe in like 2 years, once they kind of turn over the roster a bit, kind of like what we've seen them do with Finn, where he went up to Maine, came back. You have a whole crop of new people. That makes sense. Fine, whatever. But he's faced everybody with the era, so what's the difference in doing it with him solo at that point?
Yeah. I would honestly move him up. I would have just kept him off TV and had like a mystery person in the Money in the Bank and had it been him and have him win it, and I would have had him win it. I love Cole. I loved the era. Cole at certain points has been my favorite wrestler in the world, and there's just nothing for him to do on NXT, man.
Yeah.
The matches will be good. Whatever he does will be good, but I can't get excited for matches that I have already seen so many times already.
Yeah, I agree, and I think he's a perfect replacement for Daniel Bryan on SmackDown. We'll get to what happened there in a little bit, so let's get into SmackDown now because we don't have that much time left. We got about 10 minutes, so perfect enough time to talk through what happened on SmackDown, and that is Retro SmackDown coming back next week. I think Justin's getting ready. Justin's going to get fisted, I think.
I don't think so. It's if you look at the logo, it's the early 2000s, late 90s. So it might be the one.
It's the early. It's before Fist. Maybe they'll have the rings. The rings. Yep.
I mean, we weren't. Well, I don't know about you guys. I wasn't around for that era of SmackDown. I
was barely born.
Exactly. We're guys who
I wasn't old enough. Yeah.
We like the fisting. We like the fist. So we're not going to get the fist. So a little disappointing there. But it's cool. It's like how Raw used to have like throwback Raws and stuff. But SmackDown's the A show now.
In like 5 years. So it's nice that they're doing it with SmackDown.
Fantastic stuff. I'm so excited.
Roman better spear someone through the thing like how they did with Rhino way back when again with somebody I don't remember.
I hope like McAfee is dressed as like Taz or someone, or like someone from back in the day or something. Cole brings back.
See, it's interesting that they're doing.
Can Pat McAfee dress up like Michael Cole?
But see, this is cool because it's the first time they're doing an Attitude Era throwback, because the old Raw ones were the early pre-Attitude Era. Like, yeah, you're right. Right at the beginning of it.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm excited. I'm so excited to see.
I'll actually watch it. Like,
who comes back? SmackDown's watchable. That's the best.
No, like I'll actually like I'll sit down and actually watch it rather than
not just have it as.
Oh yeah, usually just stand. Yeah, Justin likes to stand and watch his TV. He's really engaged if he sits.
Exactly.
Excited for that. Let's get into the IC title picture right now. And Big E beat Apollo by disqualification after Commander Aziz kind of attacked him during the match because Cruz was about to get pinned. Sammy and KO came out after. It's looking like we're getting a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania Backlash, and I think that's phenomenal. Double thumbs up.
Yep.
I think this is going to be very reminiscent of the Extreme Rules fatal 4-way IC title match in 2016 with Miz, Owen, Zayn, and Cesaro. Great talent all around. Can't complain anything here. I think it's great.
Good.
Yeah,
you're pushing 2 matches down into one for the Backlash, that's good.
And
you
it's
need
all
to do that more.
Talented people like who are very similar but all different at the same time. That's how you run a multi-man match. Take notes of that, Raw.
Big E's obviously power, Apollo's athleticism, Sammy's whatever
Everything.
Sammy does, and
whatever he needs.
and Kevin Owens can play a bunch of different roles as well. So I'm looking forward to this.
It's a good mix. And Jesse, I'm gonna stick with you on this next point because our boy is back. We didn't get to say this next week. Your boy is back. We've been talking about it since I feel like the start of this podcast. And however, like the fall and winter, when's Alester Black? Where's Alester Black? He's back with a new gimmick with the Tales of the Dark Father. He reads tales from like his childhood, it almost feels like, and what made him into what he is today. So they're giving him like a backstory type thing as a bad guy.
They're actually developing a character.
They're developing a character.
Whoa, slow down.
And the rumor, which I've been seeing, is he's gonna be the son of the Undertaker. That's gonna be.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That's what it's looking like.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I'd love that. I don't know if they're gonna do it.
Yeah, because even like the books that he's showing on SmackDown,
it would be too good.
It does sound too good. But the books that he's showing on SmackDown has like a guy with like a cross and like the big Undertaker hat and stuff. And if they run with this, that's a perfect push that we've been waiting for. Just the son of the Undertaker,
and then that's just the Undertaker gift that keeps on giving because he's not even here, and his lore gives even people some stuff to work with.
There you go. Good. Nice closing thoughts there, Justin.
I love Alester. I really do, but I need to wait. I need to see him. I need to actually until he wins like his first like 3 matches.
Watch it be Vince's child from the Dark Ministry. That's also a possibility.
Watch, so. I think there's a definite chance that like they just never even reference the Undertaker
Probably
stuff,
not.
and he just keeps this gimmick, for like a couple weeks. He keeps reading stories, and then he beats some jobber and then disappears again. That could totally happen. I really hope not.
Got to knock on his door again.
Nobody. Oh my God.
No one knocked on his door. Stupid.
Remember when we all wanted Alester Black and the Fiend?
Yeah,
and we never got it.
Hey, the chance is now more than ever for that too. So we'll see what happens. It's still very, very early, but so far, so good with that stuff. And now let's get into the main event. Phenomenal match, first of all. Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns for Universal title match on SmackDown. If Bryan loses, he has to leave SmackDown. But before the match even started, Roman Reigns has his rumored new theme song debut, and it's a banger. I love the old Shield Roman theme song, whatever. It's very iconic by now. They've been around for 6-7 years about now. Wow, that's a while. But this one just fits him so well. It makes him feel like that main event heel that we've known he has been for the last 6 months now.
It's a nice update.
It's a very nice update.
I would have thought they would have dropped it when he came back, and did the whole tribal chief gimmick, head of the table. But better late than never.
Yeah. I agree with that too. I think he just needs a new Titantron now and all that because he has to get rid of the Roman Empire stuff.
Yeah, they got to get rid of the big like CGI.
He never says Roman Empire.
No, it needs to be just like head of the table and like gold blue or something, like because he rocks the gold gauntlet and he has like the blue from the past. I think a combo of the gold and blue that look pretty hot. Maybe have like some of the old Orton sprinkly fireworks come down too as he lifts the title. Golden. The match was good. Match was good here.
Yeah, no, really good match. I think Bryan's going to NXT.
That'd be awesome.
I think that's the route.
That's the hot rumor. And wow,
that would be incredible if they keep Cole if they keep Cole down to just do a Cole Bryan match and then move Cole up, I'd be great with that.
Yeah.
I would be so
ultimately,
okay
I would
with
love
that.
to see him feud with O'Reilly when he got there first.
Yeah. Cool. I'm down with any of them. Yeah, Balor, you got O'Reilly, you got Cole, you got Gargano, you got Ciampa, you got all those. Karrion Kross, throw him in a match with anyone. It's just a new face that
to run the place.
It needs that needs, a change of opponents, it feels like. And I don't want him to go to Raw. I just really don't want him to go to Raw. I don't want his winding days of his career to be wasted on a crap television show like Raw. NXT's perfect. I think that's the route. But I think he'll be gone for a while, though, because Roman hit him with the concerto. But I can't complain. Roman Reigns again. We can't complain.
Nope.
Any closing thoughts before we wrap this?
Nah, I just interested to see where Bryan ends up and what he does.
There was a tweet that was put out, and it was, guess who's going to be champion in 2026? And one of the options was Cesaro. And I think WWE doesn't realize how old Cesaro is.
Yeah.
So that's my closing thought.
There you go. But thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Sports Department Podcast. Us three appreciate it. Steve and Joe appreciate it. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Sports Depth Pod. That's Sports DEPT Pod. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Like we said in the beginning of the show, Jesse wants to get a couple basketball episodes out. We're going to get those out. Baseball ones are coming. Possibly a hockey with those playoffs coming, and wrestling with the WrestleMania Backlash, and maybe some more draft stuff too. So stay tuned to all that fun stuff, and we'll see you in the next episode.